Okay, guys, Red Alert 2 World Series, World Cup, Pro Division action. No, semi-pro, elite semi-pro. I don't know. These guys are somewhere in between Marco and Legend and the other semi-pros. Top of the semi. I don't know what I'm talking about. We got Ed, the wild card in red, bottom side, facing off against Drunken Master in yellow, top side. Starting off on the toothpick map, Soviet versus Soviet. This is best of 5. A few different maps. You guys can type red or yellow in the chat. It will log your prediction. If you predict correctly, you'll get a chance to spin the wheel. Boom! Predicted correctly in the last series. We're going to spin the wheel for him. He just won $5. Now you guys are thinking, Ivor, if I type red or yellow, will I really get a chance to win $5? Now you know in real time. Boom! You won $5. Hit me up on Discord. You can do whatever you want with that $5, man. Buy a sandwich, invest. Snark, we've already
RA2 merch.
RA2 merch. There you go. So Snark, we've already seen this map once today. Now we're seeing it Soviet versus Soviet, though. Yeah, you're saying Drunken Master. Drunken Master's been playing a ton. He's a beast. Can Ed handle him?
Look at the oil placements between the trees. Can you look at this build and say this guy is not a beast?
He hiding the oil between the trees and already thundering down the field in Ed's face here. Yeah, this guy, I've seen him. He's just been playing so much quick match. Again, a player coming over from Mental Omega, been playing a ton of blitz and beating top level players. But
Ed sends the dogs in to clear up the conscripts.
Nice.
Does successfully do that, and Drunken's offensive is in shambles as a Rhino goes to its death. 2 war factories for Drunken, only 1 for Ed at the moment. So Drunken dialed in with that build. Ed with a bit more money, but Drunken really doing a nice job with his economy.
Yeah, and Drunken, I mean, so if you look at, like we said, we split the game into 5 categories. Blitz experience, map experience, a lot of those things are going to go to Drunk. But Ed, of course, a top-level player, been playing 20 years. So if Ed can get him into kind of more traditional situations and use potentially his superior knowledge of the fundamental mechanics of the game, Ed may be able to get a leg up here as he goes toe-to-toe in the middle. Drunken Master going for conscripts. Ed's fodder falling behind here, but doing a good job clicking down the tanks.
Absolutely, and exactly that's one of the things that Ed might have an advantage is when it comes down to clicking those tanks, the micro in the fights, although Drunken spamming those units so fast, the fodder, the tanks, the 3rd war factory coming out here. Ed is definitely behind when it comes to that sort of stuff, but can he make up with it with raw talent?
Or the V3 rockets. As the crates come out, Ed positions himself perfectly to grab that V3 rocket. Wild card. Doesn't grab it. Damn it. No one ever wants my crate, Snark. It hurts my feelings. It does.
I don't blame you. Drunken at 4 war factories does get the V3. Ivor's happy.
Yes.
Everyone's happy.
Yes. If Ed wins this game on the back of the V3 rocket, I will be a happy camper here. And I think Ed, Soviet versus Soviet, we talk about this matchup in Blitz being the matchup where oftentimes the player who's just played the game longer can get ahead. So I think it's really important for Ed to win this game because as we start getting over to Allied versus Allied and some of the wackier maps, I think Drunken Master's Blitz experience in the last few months will start to trump out Ed's experience with the game in general. 3 war factories to 4. Ed behind here for sure.
Dude, Ed with 9k in the bank, not the situation you'd want to be in on Blitz. Behind on war factories and now 5th war factory, super aggressive, down Ed's throat kind of build, and Ed is in trouble.
Yeah, another war factory for Ed. Now Drunken, there was a moment there where Drunken's economy I thought might be off, but now he's got 5k in the bank. So I mean, Drunken's done this exact build probably 50 times. So Ed smashes the Hail Mary button and he's gonna get it. I love this map, man. He stops for the sentry gun. Go for the MCV, Ed. Don't forget who you are halfway down the field.
He's diving. He's gonna get it.
He's gonna get the MCV. And now on the backside, and Drunken doesn't keep up on the backside. And I love that gut shot on this map. Gets right down the middle, catches Drunken out of position. Gonna dive on a war factory. Now Ed needs to switch over to drones, right? Switch over to drones, hold the line. Tanks are coming.
Unnecessary at this point, Ivor.
He doesn't need to.
Ed is ahead on war factories.
That's okay.
And Drunken has no MCV.
Wow. And so Ed picks up this SVS win, or at least he should. He's taking a base trade here. Doesn't need to do that.
Yeah, not sure that's exactly what he wants to do. He is falling behind on Rhinos a little bit, and he just lost 2 war factories, which means Drunken is ahead on war factories again. This game is not over just yet.
Yeah, so Drunken, and now Drunken just trying to hit and run. He's gearing up conscripts on the right side. I love that idea. And now going to catch Ed a bit out of position here. Again, Ed I mean, certainly a guy like me would be going over to drones to cinch this out, buy myself some breathing room. But Ed should be able to get done with tanks if he keeps pumping. He's on 17k now. His barracks is still pumping dogs. That's good. Needs to keep building sentry guns. Need to stay busy on all 4 tabs. That's what Blitz is all about at this level. Out-tanking. Out-tanked now. Pretty severely out-tanked.
Yeah, this could be a bit of a problematic situation for Ed. If he throws away this army, Drunken might be able to finish off the game. This is still extremely close as Drunken pushes in through the backside here. Ed spamming those rhinos. Can he defend this offensive here?
And this unit control from Ed, I mean, he's doing a few things right because he was so heavily out-tanked. He is going to fall behind, but, I mean, he's staying in it, even though he's been out-tanked for quite a while now. Still not over to drones. The MCV goes down, and, man, Ed's going to be kicking himself if he loses this one. Again, this SVS point, I think, was so important for him, and he was so close to cinching a victory from the jaws of defeat there. And now, Snark, the dust settles, almost on a perfectly even game. That 4th War Factory goes down, so now it is 3-4 with Drunken outproducing. Also multiple barracks for Drunken as well. Both players on funny money, though, so lots of money for both players. Power for... Ooh, Ed might be... No... Oh, no, Ed has power.
No, dude, but yeah, well, I mean, Ed did a great job. Drunken couldn't keep up with Ed's splits that well, but Ed couldn't keep up with Drunken's infantry, which inevitably won him the game. Crazy game there. Ed taking down that MCV with a Hail Mary, getting ahead, and then Drunken just sheer force of relentless pressure taking it home. Yeah,
and, Ed, one of those players, again, who we talked about that, everyone has the oh shit button. Everyone has the drone button. And when do you hit the drone button tells a lot of who you are as a player, particularly in SVS. For me, I hit the drone button as soon as I'm down on tanks, which is why I never win. But for Ed there, you gotta think the drone button would have been viable.
A little bit earlier, at least be able to keep up with that infantry there. AVA, a completely different game, and we're gonna see some shenanigans here from Ed.
Yeah, AVA, and Ed, I feel like Ed, especially against a player like Drunken Master. Now, this was the tournament map last month. As far as I know, it's reasonable to assume Drunken Master's played this map at least 100 times, and it's quite possible to assume that Ed has played this map 0 times.
Oh, look at Ed. Look at Ed.
What do we got? What do we got?
In AFC airport opening, Rocketeers straight off the bat.
Yep, and I like this for Ed because on this map, if you don't know the map, it's not going to work. And so Drunken Master tries to go for an anti-scout. He brings GIs to anti-scout. Ed says, not going to work because I got Rockies. And this is a typical wild card fashion here, opening Rockies, an incredibly expensive Gambit. And Gambit is the word for it, and it's an expensive endeavor that may or may not pay off. Now, the AFC opening, there's a few non-mortals who have pulled it off, and one mortal who pulls it off regularly. We have seen Woody use it to great effect, but regular mortals struggle with it, to say the least. It's expensive, and the Rocketeers are fragile, and I don't know. It did force him to build a bunch of IFVs.
Rocketeer control, though. Yeah, 4 IFVs, but that's something you're going to want later in the game as well. Anyway, now this single Eagle here versus 4 IFVs, not going to be able to get much done. An early power drop in the top right, forcing Rocketeers to go and deal with that. Now targeting the oil here in the center, and the Eagle out as well. Ed is everywhere at once as a Rocketeer split comes towards Drunken's base.
The Rocky split.
Grizzlies are there as well. What is going on right now? The power drop is still there. This power...
Oh, he pulls up to the power drop. He's going to get the power plant. Hey.
Oh my god.
And he takes a little drive-through Value Town there and does grab a power plant. When it's all said and done, that was the most wacky, hard-working, and the reward for a power plant I've ever seen. Like, Ed had to do so many things. He hit bottom, he hit low. Got the power plant.
Yeah, he did somehow get it in the end. Now Rocketeers coming out from Drunken. 2 IFVs in response from Ed. And all said and done, I mean, that Eagle is going to go down. All said and done, they are in a decently even position. Ed behind on the economy.
Yeah, he's behind 2 oils right now.
Rocketeers.
Maybe just a little bit too busy doing other stuff. And now map control for Drunken Master. He's going to get both money crates, and he's going to be about to get the disc. And incoming Ed saying, LOL, WTF, where did the disc come from? Yeah.
That's exactly what's about to happen. This is now officially in Drunken's favor, as he has the disc. He just got a huge economy boost from those 2 money crates. He's got an extra war factory over Ed, but Ed has something Drunken doesn't have, and that is a naval yard. No tech, though.
Yeah, and Ed, yeah. Yeah, he's going to have to open a cruiser, probably. He opens a destroyer. I don't know if that's needed for anything. Can't imagine any... Oh, the destroyer can shoot up here. The destroyer can shoot this oil. I forgot about that.
Yeah, well, at least he's going to get this oil.
That doesn't really make sense to me. Destroyers shooting up cliffs is odd. Why can they do that? No other units can.
Oh, because they're destroyers, Ivor. Read the name.
Oh, yeah, because they're destroyers, bro. Ed's got the water, and that's about all he's got. If I were him, I would destroy some bridges and tuck in. Of course, Ed is not going to be doing that.
Oh, he's going for the IFVs.
He's trying to hit the IFV. Yeah, but Drunken has his own Rockies anyway. Oof.
Yeah, coming in here to even out the odds here, and their disc being so useful in the air combat, and Drunken obviously comes out on top in that fight.
Come on, Eddie!
Ooh, an elite IFV for Drunken as well, which means, yeah, we know what that means. GG. Drunken taking another one, which does put him on match point. 2-0 for Drunken.
And Ed might be able, but Drunken's macro, that last game getting up 2 oils, he's just placing his buildings perfect speeds. We'll see.
Yeah, the macro is pretty insane from Drunken Master right now. He is literally has no idle time on his building tabs. It's insane.
Yeah, he's moving, man. I really wish, man, next year's World Cup, heartbeat monitors and APM monitors for both players, Snark. Mark my words.
Absolutely.
It'd be funny. It'd be funny if someone's heartbeat, you're like, his heart rate is increasing. What's happening? All of a sudden you realize he's got like a spire on the back of the base. You're like, we're like, why is his heart rate going up?
What are we missing?
Yeah, something's happening. Yeah, it's Plaja saying maybe Ed's splitting things up. Yeah, Ed splits and stuff. I think that's where he can gain some momentum. But in that last game, you know, he split them all around. He did get a leg up, but then on the back end, it was actually Drunken Master who kept up on the macro more. So the GI opening here from Drunken Master, yeah, fairly expected here on this map. The higher ground in the center can be nice. Got to be careful. He's going to edge around the bunker. Now Ed building sentry guns. He drives right in with the GIs.
Beautiful defense.
Yeah, nice. Does lose a few rhinos in the process, though. Now pretty heavily out-tanked, but on the back of that bunker and sentry gun, he's okay here. Ed's still 4K in the...
Fine.
And that was... Yeah, and again, you know, when we decreased the GI build speed just slightly in Blitz, and the idea was to make it more of a gambit. In that case, with how slow they build slightly slower, the cost of the GIs, it's a gambit. You open 10, 15 GIs, maybe you get value, maybe you don't. In that case, the gambit didn't work. Drunken Master did have a decent financial commitment in that and didn't get any value. Well, I mean, took out a few tanks, but didn't get great value.
Definitely wasn't worth the amount that... I mean, he did bait some bunkers, but those could be useful later on as well. And a bit of a fight here at the bottom. Ed still doesn't have enough of a take advantage to put... Well, he doesn't have a take advantage at all. He can't really push here. Drunken already with tech out. Ed only on 2 war factories. Ed might be in trouble. This is a very crucial, pivotal point in the game as Drunken starts spamming those mirages.
Yeah, and this was a kind of an unorthodox allied look here to go Battle Lab into Mirages before the Eagles and the Rockies. Obviously, you can't do everything at once. So Ed now going to bring a little bit of a split, but only a couple rounds on the top side. Mirage is coming. Ed needs to be. The Eagles are going to be in his face soon. The clock is ticking. Maybe you guys who have seen those stats that Sneer put out, the win rate for Allied, it goes up radically after the 3-minute mark, and we are hitting the 3-minute mark right now, and Ed has not gotten much value. And Sparky goes to Drunken Master as well. That is a Tesla tank that turns into a Tesla coil. Me and Snark spent far too much time putting that together for almost no value. Actually, I like Sparky. I think Sparky's fun.
Ah, dude, it's the fun stuff. I love the little stuff.
The little stuff. All right, Deso bombs gearing up. Now expect these Eagles to start disrupting these Deso bombs. That can be very annoying. Ed does find a little gap in the armor. Clears out a few pillboxes. Wants the oil as well. Needs to be careful. Good discipline to pull out there. Defensive pair drop topside. Ed's gearing up a bunch of Deso bombs. But the sniper BFs, dude, Drunken Master's got it all, man. He's got it all. He understands the rock, paper, scissors. As I say that,
as you say that, as you say that, Drunken loses the game. This is, oh my god.
Everyone delete that from the stream. I don't want anyone sharing where I confidently say, yeah, Drunken Master's pretty much got it all. Just gets fucking blown through. Oh my god. Well, hey, Ed, put one up. I'm happy for Ed. As someone who just wants epic games to watch and to commentate and to post and to share, part of me it's always tricky with Ed because part of me is like, as soon as Ed starts doing something wacky, I'm like, Ed, don't, you're gonna lose. But then at the same time, it's like, if it works, it makes the best content. So it's like flip a coin. Either Ed's games are gonna be the worst ever, they're going to be deleted, no one's ever going to watch them again, or it's going to be the craziest ever. And you never really know. But generally, Ed is looking to roll the dice. So let's see how many GIs he opens here. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, so he is doing the classic GI opening. We saw Drunken kind of fail at that in the previous game. We'll see if Ed can make it work better than Drunken did. Drunken already out with the conscripts and the sentry guns to counter the GIs, which is exactly what you expect to see out of the Soviet player. 3 sentry guns in a very nice formation. Ed is grouping up his GIs here. Can't really push a position right now unless he decides to go straight to the bottom, which is exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, he's going to edge around that cliff. These GIs can be, GIs can be nice there. Might be able to get range on that sentry gun. Let's see. Nice, very nice unit control from Ed.
Yeah, but still lost quite a few GIs there, and he can't really push any more than that. He doesn't have enough GIs to really get value here. So, nice defense, but he did force Drunken to make quite a few sentry guns and defenses for this. Look at Drunken's economy right now.
Oh, and he does. He puts Drunken broke. And we used to talk about that. You know, regular Red Alert 2, you bait 1 or 2 sentries that can throw off an economy. In Blitz, you need to bait a lot of sentries to throw off an economy. And he did. And we've talked about it before, man. It is rough. Now, as soon as you start going broke, you need to start pausing production. You need to consider delaying, maybe even building stuff. It goes from bad to worse quick. Let's see how quickly Drunken can recover because he wants money. He wants dogs here. These Grizzly numbers are getting nice. He still is keeping his sentry guns up. It looks like his money has caught up. And now Ed, ooh, tough position.
Ed needs to get out of there. Ed needs to get right out of there. You cannot fight sentry guns and rhinos. No. It's just not going to end well. Question is, what does Ed have behind this? He has 4K in the bank, no AFC just yet, and a single war factory. Ed's still playing as if he's got a huge tank advantage, which he doesn't.
Yeah, and he did keep up his macro. He has the oils are the same. He's behind on macro as well. Drunken over to a second war factory now. And Ed hasn't made a move to AFC or a second war factory. So being an aggressor like that, Allied versus Soviet, is so tough. I think Ed did it as good as he could have in some ways, but yeah, it was definitely tough. So he's going to split off here. He splits 4 for the MCV. It's a good move to not take it there. It wouldn't have worked. Ed is going to get in and grab Sparky. Now Ed building GIs. Ed on 8K, and now it's that point where, yeah, he's got himself to the 3-minute mark, but what does he have? And these Rhino numbers are looking detrimental. Now the split on the backside is going to get Drunken's MCV. He deploys Sparky. Sparky on the defense, and Drunken Master sells. Now, can Ed hold the line? Ed's got 10K, Snark. I think Ed can hold the line here. Rocky's out.
Well, Ed's got 10K. I want to see Eagles, Rockies, build on all tabs. I might not even go for Rockies if your opponent doesn't have Desolators. I might just go for pure infantry. I might skip the Rocketeers.
Oh yeah, he's got no radar, so no Desolators, so you could go right into GIs. That's absolutely right. Just needs to be careful here. Doesn't want these Rhinos to blow through his doorstep and wreck this game for him. We're about to see if that's going to happen. There are a lot of dogs, and Ed'll be perfectly willing to give up that MCV if he can trade 5 Rhinos for an MCV. He'll take it here. And Drunken does dive on the MCV. You see Ed just baiting. That's fine for Ed as long as he can hold. He's got the AFC, the barracks, and the war factory. That's more than enough. And Ed's going to try to get him into a base trade. I think that's a pretty clever move for Ed there, because he's got a Prism Tower and the Tesla Coil as well. So now Ed takes out. Now Drunken still has a war factory, still has a barracks. These Rockies can go offensive here. Flak track out.
He's going to dive, and the Eagle's coming in as well. It's not going to help. That war factory is going to go down.
Yep, war factory down. And what a wacky game here. And this is going to be Drunken Master's final push. Ed does have snipers. Let's see if he remembers those snipers. Snipers or a Navy SEAL. He's got 14K, all the money he could ever want. But he doesn't want to get into a full base trade just because there's so many sentry guns to click down. And Drunken Master pulls back with Ed.
Yeah, this paradrop with the Tesla Troopers. Oh, this could be...
Oh, the Tesla Trooper paradrop! No way!
It's a base trade. It's a base trade. He doesn't get with the Eagles, but the Rocketeers getting so much value.
Oh. That was a spicy one, Snark. That was a spicy one.
Holy moly.
Yeah, and Luke.
Just like that, it's 2-2.
And Luke saying the same thing in the chat, should have spammed GIs instead of Rockies there once there was no Desolator in the game. Hard to make that equation, but I think that does make sense. Either way, Ed getting it done in usual wildcard fashion. All right, guys. Red Alert 2 World Series World Cup, and we are officially burning barns. What a day to be alive. And we had some good action today. This is it, 2-2, best of 5. It all comes down to this. Both players picking Soviet here on the boom map. And a quick reminder, as always, guys, redalert2.com. Place to be, learn how to download and play the game. Events every month for new players. Got a good community, people helping each other out. That's the whole idea around here. Join the Discord. Check out the YouTube for the best highlights. Watch all the games for live for free on Twitch. Of course, you can donate. Oh, the Heartbreak Yuri. You guys triggered the Heartbreak Yuri in the final point. As always, guys, all the money that comes in the stream goes back into the stream. Helps me create more content. We're trying to get RA to the moon. That's what it's all about around here. And I also got some new merchandise. Red Alert 2 merchandise and a Red Alert 2 comic book that I made at redalert2.com. Okay, let's get into it. So, Ed on the top side, both players, the higher ground battle on this boom map, it can oftentimes all come down to this, and Ed blows through. Ed on a 2-0 run right now after going down 2 points in this series. Ed has the momentum in the final point. He's hungry. This is a knockout round. Winner of this goes on to the finals for their division in the World Cup. Loser of this goes home, and there is blood in the water. Ed smells it. Ed's hungry. Drunken doing everything he can. If he loses the War Factory, and he does, the War Factory goes down, and Drunken Master's hopes and dreams seeping through the cracks of his fingers as Ed takes it home. Okay, yeah, I don't know. Interesting to kind of see these kind of matchups where you have someone like Drunken Master who's so hot right now. Drunken Master's been playing quick match, beating the best players in the world in quick match. Ed has that foundation, and I always talk about that when you're talking about really good players. I think there's two metrics to look at. The first one is total time spent playing the game, and that's how you get that deep foundation knowledge. You know, sometimes with unit control or playing a cliff or an edge or just a little things that happen, that's total time spent, like years spent playing the game. Obviously, Ed with a huge advantage there. And then we talk about how much have you played in the last 30 days. And that metric's huge because you'll look at a player like we've seen it with Kian or, you know, Legend or those kind of players who top level, but they take a month off and they come back and they're just slow. They're micro, they're clicks, they're just a little bit slower. So those two metrics, how long you've played, how much you've played in the last 30 days. With Drunken Master and Ed, complete opposite. Drunken Master played a ton in the last 30 days, but hasn't played for very long. Ed been around for forever, but hasn't played much Blitz in the last 30 days. Good series, good match. Well played, both players.
Here, hold this.